I'm Debra Lee Baldwin in my garden with designer Katie Christensen.
So I am originally from Washington. The driftwood comes from the Pacific Northwest, so I get to have a little bit of feel from home, also adding the Southern California look to it with the seashells and the succulents. I like to choose succulents that, might resemble something from the ocean that might look a little bit like coral or some seaweed.
Drunkard's Dream, is that what they call it?
Yep, they call it that because if you turn it upside down, they look like little Michelob bottles at the end of it. Add just a small layer of soil, about an inch at the bottom.
Do you also use moss in this, or is that not a planting medium but more of an embellishment?
It acts as both. Push it in there as tight as you can get it.
Okay.
And that's what's going to hold all your cuttings in place for you. Then I have my rocks and my sand. The sand on your driftwood piece might act as, maybe you just pulled it right out of the water and you haven't washed it off yet.
You can almost do a glitter effect with glue. You could do a trail of glue and then sprinkle it with sand and it would stick to it.
Yes. Use a hot glue gun to attach the embellishments onto there. I like to put a little bit of moss as an accent on the background.
You have several clusters of seashells and plants.
Having just one thing by itself in an arrangement like this typically isn't as eye appealing. So it's nice to have a grouping of the same thing together but with different colors and textures. So that's what I did with the seashells.
If you already have an undersea themed garden, that would make a nice enhancement to it.
Yes, it's fun to stage your driftwood maybe in front of a nice boulder or rock. This one would work for either a rectangular table or a circular table because I have this fun loop that kind of acts like it's going to be going into a circle. So that would replicate the shape of a circular table.
You would just spritz it or dribble a little bit of water on it?
Here in California we're very dry, so the driftwood is going to absorb the water faster than the plants can drink it. So the moss is going to hold that moisture in. A small turkey baster, and you can just go around the outside of it and wet the moss, and that'll be enough for the succulents.
Thanks so much for coming, Katie.
Thank you for having me, Debra.